Another thing I want you to look at, there are two helpful visual tools. One I found very helpful was over here under View. I'm going to highlight in yellow those courses without enough seats. If I scroll over Art and highlight, just let it sit there. It's going to tell me I've only have 3 sections built. I need 4. My requests satisfied are 108 out of 158. So I got 50 kids that didn't get art. It's telling me I need 4 sections, for heaven's sakes. Seats taken, I only have 3 classes at 40 a pop. I'm at 120 classes. So out of those 120 seats, 180 were taken up. That's pretty good. But man, I need to go talk to Laura and see if I can add another section and that kind of thing. The other one that was helpful is the red one. Request singleton. Red means conflict. So if I scroll down a bit, this is singleton conflicts. I don't have many. And I didn't have a singleton meeting. Oh my gosh, how'd that work out? Oh, there's a red one there. This is a singleton conflict. So I'm gonna hover over that one. AP Calculus AB. This kid's name is Dane and Hoggum. He has a singleton request conflict with L290, Theater 1. We only offer Theater 1, Period 2. So unfortunately, Danon has to make a decision. All right. For you newbies, the rules that were important, the loading rules. There were 2 really important loading rules. 2 important rules are same period, same teacher. So if you get Art 1, Semester 1, Period 3 with Miss Jones, you better get Art 2, Semester 2 with Period 3 with Miss Jones as well. That's a loading rule. We don't want kids being loaded in Miss Jones' class first semester and not getting Miss Jones' classes second semester. And the other one is maxes, class maxes. Right? You can't load a class at more than 40. So let's try this. Let's add an art class because we need a section of art, right? Let's click it over here. I'm going to bring it to Period 4. I did it Semester 1. Oh, look, it's not yellow anymore because now I've got 160. I've got 160 seats available, and how many requests did I have? 158 requests. So I'll bring this one over here as well, put it in Period 4. Okay. Now I'm going to assign, I need to assign a teacher. I just right-click on the actual class and assign a teacher. Notice that Webb is red. He teaches it, and so does Huey. Huey's green. Webb's red because he already teaches the class that period. So I can click on Huey. I've got a teacher now. I want to assign it a room number. I happen to know she's 1261. I've basically built her class there. Go over here, same thing as Semester 2. Assign the teacher. Assign the room. Now here's the fun part. Once you've built, there are building load. I'm going to go to load. I'm going to run a full unload. I'm going to load the whole darn thing and see what effect that had. And right now there are 36, 32, and 40 in those 3 classes. Let's see what effect it had by adding the class that period. Here's the fun part. Full unload. Notice my numbers up here they went way down. They should be at 0%. Nobody should be in. Now I'm going to go back to load, run a full load. Right here, it's loading here. Now let's see what we got. Let's go to art. I'm going to click on art. Look at that. It says that I built 4 sections. 142 requests were satisfied out of 158. Not bad. So 142 seats were taken out of 160. And down below here, you see down below that, guys, where it says same period as B11 Art 2. Same teacher as B11 Art 2. That was that loading rule. All right? How do we know who didn't get art? Well, I can go to Art 1 over here. I can right-click it. And I can look at the View Unrostered Students, and there they are. That was for adding a course. One more thing. For me personally, what I typically did, when I was moving courses throughout the period, I would go to the teacher view, and that's when I was calling the phone, calling the department chair. So I'm going to go to teacher view on this side. Remember, I just added a class for Miss Huey. I'm going to go down to her, and she's right here. And we put it here, Period 4, we added it. When I would call the department chairperson, hey, can Miss Huey, instead of teaching 4 through 7, because I got some conflicts out here, can I move her Period 7 art class to Period 3? Okay, try it. And literally on the phone with the department chairperson saying, okay, I'm going to do it right now. I'll tell you what it does. I'm moving it over here. Bam, just moved it. Period, yeah, okay, I'm going to move this over to period 3. Enter TA as well. Let's go to load. I'm going to run a full unload, see what that does. You can also load and unload by section, by department too, just the art department. But I think we found that do the whole darn thing, right? Because everything affects everything else. Let's run the full load now.
One of the greatest features about this is something called autoloading that you can turn on.
Yes.
That move you made, it would have dynamically shifted every kid around that one.
And I use that, but I also found that confused me on occasion too. So I was like, it auto-loaded. When you move it, it auto-loads it. Well, I wanted to move it. I want to load it, put it back in and see what happened. And sometimes I'll load and unload it 5 times. I'll get different percentages because the system will do a different logarithm, whatever, and go. So I did use auto-load. Jake, we talked about that. And I think it's the understanding that we talked about. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what happened. Are things cool? Maybe she wanted to go to third period. Are things cool? I'll look at Miss Huey. And you know what? 36, 35, 36. Loaded pretty well. Now, did I lose some kids in the process? Let's go back over to courses. And this will be the last thing I'm going to show you guys. Back over to courses. Back up to that art course. Let's see if I lost any kids in the process. Nope. 142 out of 158. They all got it, whether it was period 7 or period 3, that extra art class. Cool, man. Okay, so those 2 rules, the loading versus building. Remember, building is to build a master build the schedule. Loading is to load the kids in there. It's under planning. Now, the staff planner was what I was talking about earlier with Laura, had, again, her AP literature class there, and English class there, and Mr. Smith with his AD. That was staff planner. The other one's called course planner. There we go. Now, here's that Art 1 class showing up as yellow again. So here you set 2 of the main loading rules I talked about. The one loading rule I talked about was number of maxes. See the seats over here? So here's the course, that Art 1 course we were talking about. Here's the max, 40. I can set that if I want. I can make that lower if I want to. 35 if I want to. And then down here, the other one here, you set the rules here. There are several rules you can do. Classes, a lot of rules. So, but same period, I set it here. If I want to add a new one, got a drop-down menu here. And this is where I would choose same period or same teacher. And that's under the planning. So planning, course planner, and then the maxes and these 2 main rules for now. There are many more that we'll learn about later, but that's how you get to that. Those are the loading rules. Yeah, over here, interesting. See here, they're going to let you the change in requests from the previous year. Now, since we didn't have this program last year, all 158 requests in art, that's a plus of 158. Well, obviously we had Art 1 last year, but we increased our requests by 158 over, because we had 0 last year. That's kind of interesting to see. And you can kind of plan out over the years. I didn't use too much of it. I just wanted to build a clean master schedule based on those simple rules myself.
Is there a way to show attrition at all? Is there any way in there that sort of documents that? Because I've done a lot of that by hand, but having that tool would be gold.
Yeah, right here, Rob. This could be red. Instead of this, because it was 0 was our baseline last year. That's why art's at 158, as you recall. Next year, art it might be a plus 25. Hey, we got more kids that want art this year. That's kind of that planning piece. So it will show up on this screen here. It would be red if it had gone down from last year's request.